to share their knowledge and expertise with us. And this is what we do on this platform. We educate people, we build people, and we change lives. And so tonight, sharing with us on the fireside chat is Mr. Eman Roberts. Eman Roberts. And he's joining us from all the way in Germany. And we are truly delighted to have him. It's many, many hours ahead of us in Germany, but he has decided to come on here with us and to share his expertise on this topic that we have at hand. And our topic for tonight's program is the power of the mind. The power of the mind. The mind is actually the most powerful asset that we have to use in this world. And Mr. Roberts is actually an expert in this area. As a matter of fact, he is an author of a book that is called Money is Looking for You. He's also a digital creator, and he believes that knowledge is power if correctly applied and used. And he also believes that everything is possible with God. He's also a man of God, and he believes that everything is possible with God. Mr. Roberts, we want to really thank you for coming to the program tonight, and welcome.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eman Roberts, the author of Money is Looking for You book. I'm so grateful I'm here today to share my experience, and to talk about a topic I've been writing about, always teaching people about. And so it's a good thing to be here, and I'm here. So let's
Wonderful.
share the knowledge.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to go right into our questions. And the first question I have for you today is we're talking about the power of the mind. And when we talk about the power of the mind, how would you really simplify this for the audience to understand the power of the mind?
Well, first of all, when we talk about the power of the mind, we're talking about God's power. So if somebody tell me to define what the power of his mind means, it means God's power in everyone born into this world. So mind power is God's power, and we can relate to the Bible because most of the thing I teach in the Bible, I relate to the Bible as a spiritual being. So it's not like the way the word was taught. I relate to the Bible in the esoteric meanings of the Bible, the inner meanings. So mind power is God's power, and we can see that in the book of in a book in the Bible that say, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that's the first chapter that really talks about the mind power. And there's one in Phenomenon. It said, without your mind will I do nothing. So definitely God power is God, mind power is God's power. And there's a cosmic law of the mind that was stated in the Bible, well, truly King Solomon, one of the wisest men in the Bible. He said, as a man think in his heart, so is he. So what's the art? The art is the subconscious mind. That is I can say is this scientific translation of the art is the subconscious mind. So whenever we read the Bible, when we see the art, we are talking about the subconscious mind. So as a man think in his mind, so is he. So is his life condition, experience, and it cannot be otherwise. So
Wow.
mind power is God power, and I used to say mind power is green power too. It's money power, it's healing power, it's success power. So without our mind, we can literally perform anything because the only function in the mind is the thought. And our thought is creative. Be careful what you think because your thoughts runs your life. It's in the Bible. So anything that we are experiencing as condition springs out from our mind. So that's how we define mind power.
Wow, that is really a deep and excellent response there, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you.
My power is God's power, and you gave three really profound scriptures to back that up. So when we talk about this mind power and this power of the mind, what part do you believe the mind plays in the sense of self?
Yeah, the mind plays a lot of roles in our life. Like I said, without your mind, will I do nothing? So we can see from this chapter of the Bible that everything springs out from our mind. Even health, good health, sickness, prosperity, poverty, everything springs from our mind. The state of mind governs the state of affairs. Without our mind, we cannot be, we cannot do, we cannot have anything in this world. So even, it's good to know the power of your mind consciously, because we are it's either you know it or you don't know it. You are using it all the time. So it doesn't matter whether you are ignorant of it. That's why a lot of people are suffering in this world, because they don't know they have a power that can do something. When we are talking of God's power, we just plain mind. Because where is God Almighty? A lot of people believe God is in the sky. God is not a big man in the sky. God is a spirit that lives in every man. But this is the most kept secret to the people in the world. So a lot of people don't even know they have power. That's why when people are sick, they will say, "Oh, I'm sick. I'm powerless." There's nobody. There's a power you can use in your mind. So if you really know the mind power, you will have everything you want in this world. Like I said, it's either you're using it consciously or unconsciously. But it's a profound profit for us to use our mind consciously. We can always direct our mind to the attention of what we want to experience as our life condition. So with God, mind's power is success power, is poverty power, is prosperity power, is success. So it depends on how we are using them. But it's good that we know this. So we that new, we most students of the mind science, or I say metaphysics, or all this new knowledge, they know the power of the mind. Even the scientists, they are one of the greatest people that use mind power, because they believe they can do anything. And we see all these new inventions, that they are doing. So it's from the mind.
Wow.
So
This is getting deep. Thank you so much for that. The Bible does say that God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And we
that's it.
sing this song so often. Your spirit lives within me, so I will walk in your peace. And yes, Christ in us, the hope of glory. We have to know that he lives inside of us. So great, great, great conversation going on here. And the next question I am asking, the mind, talking about all of these things, the mind help us both to know and to believe. Uh, how is knowledge different from belief? Is there a difference between the knowledge and the belief?
There's a big difference between knowledge and belief. Let me talk about belief first, because that's what creates our reality through our mind. So no, belief is a mental acceptance. So I will define it in a very simple way. When you believe something, you mentally accepted it, and it will happen to you, either good, bad, or indifferent. So it doesn't really matter what you believe. So belief is a law. Belief is like a government. It's like a law that governs people's life. So man is belief expressed. I used to write that a lot, even in my book. Man is beliefs expressed, because whatever you believe deep down in your subconscious mind, it will manifest as your condition and life experience. So belief and faith is a synonymous terms. They are the same. People don't understand that. We in religion we call it faith. In science they call it belief. They are the same. If you believe something deep down in your mind, that's your faith. So that's your expectation, and that's what you will reap. As you believe, you reap. So belief is different from knowledge. Knowledge is like a collection of acquired information that is taught. You know, the Greek call it gnosis. Gnosis means, knowledge. It's what you learn from school, what you learn from books. Those are knowledge. Knowledge is power, but if it's correctly applied, if it's correctly used and applied, then it's knowledge, it's power for real. But belief is different from knowledge. Belief is something you don't see. It's like faith. Belief is the evidence of things not seen. The same with divine faith. Every evidence of the world is not seen, what we hope for. So when you believe something deep down in your mind, that's what creates miracles. What people call miracles today is just a deep-seated belief in our subconscious mind. Like I said, I will say it again. Either you choose to believe consciously or unconsciously, your belief is what is creating your life. If you believe you are poor, you're going to be poor. If you believe you are sick and that's your reality, you're going to be sick the rest of your life. But when you believe that you can change your situation, anything you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it's given unto you. That's the law. That's the law that defines everybody. So whatever you believe, either you believe in sickness, you believe in poverty, you believe in prosperity, you believe in opulence, that's how you experience life. There's nothing you can do about this law. So Jesus Christ said it many times. Believe, believe, believe. Faith, 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 faith. According to your faith is done to you. According to your belief, it is done to you. So belief is a mental acceptance, and man is belief expressed. Man is consciousness objectified. Whatever you believe about yourself, that governs your world. But knowledge is what we acquired. Acquired knowledge, what we learn in school, what we read in the book, and without any physical evidence. Believe have no physical evidence, but when you believe it, then you will see it. But knowledge is what you acquired in the school, what we read is like acquired knowledge, and information. So they are two different things. So
Wow.
if somebody said I should go with one of them, I will go with belief because I know my belief is really creating my own reality. So, yeah.
Wow. Mr. Iman Roberts is with us
Yes,
on the fireside chat tonight, and he is dropping some gems while answering these questions. He says that belief is the mental acceptance, and that belief is actually a law. When you believe, it governs your entire life. I love that. And he talk about knowledge is the acquired information. This is what we get from our children, from our school, from the environment, from people around us, from reading books. But if he had to make a choice, he would choose belief because it is the substance of everything that generates and happens in our lives. I love that. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the power of the mind on the fireside chat tonight. We are with Mr. Iman Roberts joining us from all the way out of Germany. And the next question we have for Mr. Robert, because this is getting really very deep. The mind can be taught to change. And so when changes occurs in people's life, positive or negative, how is the mind responsible for these changes?
Yeah, our mind, like I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Everything springs out from our mind. Without the mind, there cannot be condition. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. In the beginning was our Word. What is Word? Our thought is our word in silence, written in a conversation. So the only faculty of the mind that the mind can produce is thought. So what is thought? Thought is your word in silence, your inner conversation. So in the beginning, the mind plays a role, in our conditions. So I will say it again, like from the Bible, we said, without your mind, it's Philemon. I think Philemon 4 something. Yeah, he said it. He said, it's Philemon 1:14, verse 1:14. He said, but without your mind will I do nothing. So that's God Almighty speaking in us, through us, and within us. So He's letting us know that without our mind, we cannot get the condition we desire. And what is mind? Thought is mind. And if I will go deeper into mind science, which most people will not understand, the esoteric mind science, I say God is thought. And the Lord is the law by which thought operates. That's the deeper level. But most people will not get it. I will say it again. God is thought that lives in our mind. And the Lord is the law by which thought operates. So mind is deeper than most people know it. So mind can make you poor. If you see a rich man, a beggar in the street that's begging money, and a multimillionaire, there's nothing different in them but the way they use the faculties of their mind. The disciple, that's 12 disciples in the Bible. Those are the disciplines of your mind. So when we are talking about the disciplines of the mind, the way we use our mind, that's how we see our situation. And a man that do not, that do not use his own mind correct will always be a slave to a man that uses his mind correct. So without your mind, will I do nothing? So mind governs our affairs. The only difference between a poor man and a rich man is just, the way they're using their mind. The only difference between somebody who is always healthy and somebody who is always sick is the way they put their mind in works. So our mind is the one that governs our affairs, both finance, both health, both success or failure. So it's from the mind. Everything spring out from your mind. Do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be you transformed. What is meaning? It means be you change by renewing your mind, by changing your mind, by thinking positive thoughts, by speaking positive words to yourself, by believing positive things to yourself. A mind can be a training. The mind is always punishing you or is giving you happiness, the way you're using it. So that's what differentiates everybody. A multimillionaire think millionaire thoughts in his mind. He doesn't think poverty thought. A beggar man thinks beggarly thoughts. He will be a beggar until he change, until he renew his mind. So mind governs our affairs. So without the mind, we cannot do nothing. So that's how I answer that.
I mean, you are dropping some gems here, Mr. Iman, and I have to follow up on one of this because you talked about the mind that controls everything. You said if the man is rich or if the man is poor, it is how they think. And many people would disagree with you with that, Mr. Iman. And people would say, well, that is not true because just thinking about it can make the person rich or poor. How would you counteract those people who said that it's not so?
I will first say as a man, as a mind, as a man think in his heart. So it is. So if you are conversant with the Bible, I can give you like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 10 chapters in the Bible that, told us about the power of our mind. So, you can argue about the mind. Like I said, you can know it consciously, unconsciously. So it depends on how you're using your mind. If I see somebody's situation, I know exactly. I mean, if I see somebody condition, with the wisdom God gave me, I know exactly what that person, the state of mind the person is. So if somebody argue that the man doesn't matter, it matters. Because let's think about it. Let's use a very simple thing. If you want to go, even in your own home, if you want to go outside, if you want to go throw, your trash away, if you want to go to the supermarket, it comes from your mind. Without your mind, you won't go to the supermarket. You first think, oh, I have to go shopping. That's the mind. If you want to go even to the bathroom, you have to think first. So our thought runs our world. So, and the only faculty of the mind is thought. There's no how you can do anything without thinking about it.
That definitely answers the question.
So it's a very simple provide thing. I mean, people will deny mind, but you can't, because without your mind, how would you even decide? How would you do anything? How would you, set your alarm and wake up in the morning and go to your work? Without your mind, how are we going to do this Zoom? Oh, I have to call Mr. Robert. It's about time. I have to set my stuff to make my stuff. So the thoughts have to come first. And once we know that thought is the only faculty of the mind, so we cannot help thinking the way we are drinking, eating, and, so we cannot. So be careful what you think, because your thought runs your life. It's in the Holy Bible. So, and where does those thoughts come from? It's from your mind. So that's it. So simple.
The power of the mind is what we're talking about, and the conversation is getting hotter and hotter around the fireside. Well, that is the fireside. That's what we do here. We have those conversations with people who are really the expertise in their field, and they can talk to us about these topics that are relevant to our lives to help us to learn and to grow. And that's why we're here tonight. And we are continuing this conversation because we do do have a few more minutes to go, and we have a few more questions that we need to ask Mr. Roberts today. So, Mr. Roberts, what are some practical ways that people can regain or lose power over their minds? Positively or negative? What are some practical ways that people can gain power or lose power over their mind for that matter?
First of all, we have to know what the mind does in order to be able to change our situation. 90 to 95% of our life is subconscious, mentally speaking. Even scientific, it's proven. It's a proven scientist that everybody know we have the conscious and the subconscious facet of the mind. There's only one mind, but it's divided into two because of creation. So we think with our conscious mind, and the subconscious mind take the thoughts, our habitual thought. Don't get it wrong. It's not that you think something in a minute. Sometimes it happen like that. But our habitual thoughts. So the way we can renew our mind, first, again, I have to let people know about this in mind. A man becomes dangerous when you know the power of his mind. When you know the power of your mind, you become dangerous. I will use this little example. Many people know the Adolf Hitler, the one in Germany that killed a lot of Jews and all those things. It's the old news, but most people are convinced. He uses mind. He knew the power of the mind. He coerced the people to say the same, the repetition of words, and so, change their mind. So if a man knows the power of his mind, Napoleon, a lot of them know the power of their mind. They use it. You can use it for good. You can use it to bad. You can use it to kill people. You can use, but don't forget everything you think, a boomerang, it comes back to you. So the first things to know about changing our mind, we have to change our thoughts. Like I said, the thought is the only faculty in the mind. So we have to change the way we think, the way we speak, what we believe, because most of us from, little, we've been programmed subconsciously, negatively from our parents, from the church, from our peers, so we've been, programmed. So now that we knew the power of our mind, we're changing it. You can change your mind by repeating positive affirmation into your, daily on habitual. You can change your mind by minding the words that come out of your mouth, because we know the power of words, because words too is, is part of thought. Thought is in silent. Words in silent is thought. So we have to change the way we speak, the way we react. We speak positive affirmation into our life. We avoid all this negative stuff. We avoid watching all these negative things or reading negative things into our subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is 90 to 95% of our condition comes from the subconscious. So that's why it's in the Bible, it says, keep your heart. The heart is subconscious mind. Keep your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. So everything springs. This is another, biblical verse that speak about our mind. Keep your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. So a change can be made. It doesn't matter if you are poor, if you don't have $1 in your pocket, you can change it by the renewing of your mind, by changing your thoughts, changing your words, changing what you believe, so you renew your mind with those techniques.
I totally agree with that, because the scripture in back over in, let me see if it was Philippians 4 and verse 8, it says, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are honest. And sometimes I wonder why people don't understand that God desires of us to think good things.
Exactly. That's
God
true.
desires us to think good things. He said, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are trustworthy, whatsoever things are of a good report. And it goes on. He said, think on
Think
these
on these
things.
things. Let this same mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. That's the continuation of the one you're speaking right now. Whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is just, think this thought. Then it said, let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. What does that mean? We should have the Christ mind. So what is Christ's mind? Jesus Christ is milk, is noble, is gentle, he never speak positive or negative words. So we should imitate. It says, imitate God, like little children, we should imitate God. We was created in the image and the likeness of God. All the attributes and all the qualities of God are in every mind. When you say man, it's mind. Man is mind. So all the qualities of God are within us. So when you speak, you are really creating. When you think, the habitual one, the consensual one, they are very creative. So we should be careful. And, since 95% of our life is subconscious, so the subconscious is always listening. It's a silent listener. It's like a tape recorder. You are speaking, it's recording it. Then it will reproduce back to you as your condition. So
Wow.
mind is power, and we should be careful. Yeah, we should think Christ mind. Just like Jesus. You never hear Jesus say abusive word to himself. You never say Jesus say, even in the Holy Bible. That's why you said something. You resonate with me. People, you can read the Bible from Genesis to the Revelation like millions of times, and you don't know what it means. Because what religion taught people about the Bible is not what Bible is really is. Most Christians will say, I am sick. And it's in the Holy Bible, say, let the weak say, I am strong. Most people will say, I am broke, I don't have money, I don't this. And the Bible told us, let the poor say, I am rich. So that's a principle. That's a principle. That means we should not never, even if it's dark, speak light. Even if you are in the middle of death, speak health. That's what the Bible said. But that's a principle. But some people don't understand it. Because I hear from a lot of people, I'll be like, these people don't know. They go to church every day, but oh man, I'm sick. Man, I'm broke. I would say, man, you can never hear such things in my mouth. I taught my kids too. You never hear me say I don't have nothing. I have everything. So I keep saying it, and it keeps showing up in my world. So let the inhabitant of the land tell the inhabitant of the land not to say I am sick. It's in the Bible. Everybody see it. It's plain. But that's a principle. That's why it's good to know mind science. It's good to know metaphysics. A clenched mind don't get much about life. This is all I know. I don't want to extend my knowledge. Oh, this is what I know. This is what my mom taught me. This is what my dad taught me. This is what the church taught me. So they don't go, beyond those. And their condition does not go beyond, what your condition is limited to your knowledge.
Wow.
So
we are really digging deep to this tonight on the fireside chat, talking about the power of the mind. And as you talked, I couldn't help but remembering this other scripture that says, He has already given us everything that we need for life and godliness. That's a scripture right there. It means that we have everything, but many times people don't know how to appropriate it. People walk around and saying, "My fear is you." That fear is not yours. He said He has not given it unto you. Why are you picking up something that God has?
God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, the spirit of a sound mind. So that's a good one. Whenever fear comes, sometimes it knocks on our door. So that's why, affirmation is very important. When I'm afraid of anything, that's what I say to myself. When I say it like 10 times, the fear will disappear. So that's the power God gave us, but most people don't know. Whenever somebody do, I'm afraid, I say, God has not given you the spirit of power. The spirit of fear, but the spirit of power, the spirit of love, the spirit of a sound mind. I am sound-minded. I am fearless. I am powerful. I keep saying that to myself. 5 minutes, the fear will go away. This is not an intellectual exercise. This is an exercise in consciousness. This is something, you have to go deeper than churches. I don't have nothing. My grandfather was a pastor, so I knew a lot. I grew up in the church, choir, everything. I'm still a Christian, but now I see Bible more than just what they taught me in the Sunday school, what my clergyman taught me. Now I go deeper and I say, wow, then I'm using this power now. And, I can tell you, God has been good to me. I've never been sick in my life. I've never been to the hospital. I knew all these things since like 10, 12 years now. I've been practicing mind science. I've never in my life been to the hospital. I've never done anything. I'm young because I will never say I am getting older. I don't say all those kind of things. I'm getting younger and younger every day. But, my experience with life have been tremendous with all this knowledge. I use my mind power, which I know is God's power. I don't speak foul sentence. I don't curse myself. I don't cast spells, because when you're speaking, you're really casting spell on yourself. So you can cast good spell or evil spell. That's why I tell people, everybody point to the devil. You are your own devil. So there's no God in the sky that's punishing you. You are the one punishing yourself. What are you saying to yourself? What are you thinking about? What do you believe? What do you believe about money? What do you believe about is? Do you think money is dirty? Do you think if you have money you will offend God? Do you think money is going to break your relationship? I mean, I'm going now deeper into my
No,
point,
I
but
want you
I'm
to
just
go
saying
there.
this is mind stuff. All is mind stuff. What you believe. I will say it again. I said it before. Man is belief expressed. So simple definition of belief. When you believe something, it will happen for you, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. So now we know that with our mind, we are our own devil, we are our own good. So let's stop pointing fingers at, oh, devil made me do it. Who is the devil, if I may ask? It's you, So that's how it goes.
Wow. And I'm claiming that I am not the devil. No.
Exactly.
So I'm going to make sure I think good thoughts.
Is it not written,
According
is it
to
not written in your laws that you are God? You are the child of the Most High.
child of the
So
Most High, thinking only good thoughts according to Philippians 4 and verse 8. Whatsoever
exactly.
things are pure, honest,
Yeah.
trustworthy, the power of the mind,
I
the
think you like
subconscious.
that verse, right? You like it. You keep repeating it. That's a good one.
Yes, yeah,
I
I
like
hold
it.
on to that one.
I
Many
like
times,
the ending part when it said, "Let this mind be in you, that was also in Christ Jesus." I love that. That's a good one.
and I keep telling myself, I have the mind of Christ. I have the
Exactly.
mind of Christ. What would Christ be thinking? Pure, honest, trustworthy, lovely, of a good report, all of those things. So, um, Mr. Roberts, many people would say, and I'm going off script as you say a little bit now. Many people would say, but um, if if it was just taught, more people would be rich. What do you say about that?
No, it's not just about thoughts. Don't get me wrong. You have to think good thoughts. If you want to be rich, you have to think rich thought. But you still have to go more. Your thought creates. Don't get it wrong. The point is that a lot of people make mockery out of prayers. They pray for riches, and after 5 minutes, they say, I'm broke. So they are contradicting themselves. Prayers, that get answer is not to say in 1 minute, I am rich, I am rich. You say the affirmation. After 10 minutes, somebody call you, oh, let's go to buy something. You say, oh, I am broke. You've destroyed your own prayer because you don't really believe what you're praying about. So, most people make mockery of that and they think thought is creative. Don't get me wrong. But, it comes with a lot of repetition. How does the mind learn in the first place? The mind learns through repetition. Through whatever you are repeating to yourself, your habitual thought is what creates. Don't get me wrong, the subconscious mind can take what you say one time and reproduce it. But most time, you learn through repetition. Whatever you keep repeating to yourself, that's why we do affirmations. And it's not that you do affirmation. A lot of people say affirmation doesn't work. It works if you work it. Some people will affirm something, and after 1 hour, they start talking negative. There's a conflict. So that's the problem where people say, thought works. You can't do anything without your thought. But you have to continue in that thought pattern. It's not 1 minute you are positive, next minute you are negative, and your subconscious doesn't know what to do. Then you don't do nothing.
Wow.
So
I
the subconscious mind, you can renew your subconscious mind with, positive thoughts and feeling. So whatever you believe, you will feel it. That's why people get it. Some people say feeling it is secret, but that's very correct. But how do you get a feeling? You have to speak. You have to use your word and your thought positively all the time. I mean, don't get me wrong. We cannot be positive 100% of all the time. But if you can manage to get 80% of your life positive, things will change for you. So thought is creative. There's no doubt about that. But problem with people is that they will do affirmation for 5 minutes and curse for 1 hour. So it doesn't work like that. So if you want to be positive, be positive. If you want to be on the negative side, if it's your decision, if that's your prerogative, then you stay there. So if you see all these people that saying affirmation doesn't work, this positive doesn't work, that's a belief. That's their belief. And what do we talk about belief? Man is belief expressed. So when you believe something don't work, it will not work for you. And one thing about people, I will advise people, practice all these things. You have to be patient. You cannot grow, a seed one day and the seed cannot grow the same day. So people are so impatient. Most people that said, oh, all these things doesn't work, that's a belief. It will not. Once you ask me that question, I will say that's why it doesn't work. Because you can only speak through what you believe. If you believe you are poor, there's no affirmation you will make about riches that will come to pass, because your belief governs your life. So when you speak something, you have to, believe it deep down. And how do you get something to believe? By repetition. Every day when I wake up, I say, I am healthy, I am strong, God is my health. I'm used to that. That's my belief. I can never be sick, no matter what. So, but people will say, it's affirmation sickness later. Oh, I have a headache. I have a terrific headache. What do you think? You are confusing your subconscious mind. So it doesn't do nothing. So those are the points,
Wow, beautiful. And you're talking there, and my mind also went. We're coming down, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming down, but this is such a powerful conversation that we're having here with Mr. Roberts, talking about the power of the mind. We have gone through so many things. We talked about the conscious mind, which is that thinking. Then we talk about this subconscious mind, where it's habitual. Keep going over the same thing over and over. And it reminds me of a scripture that says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and that man should not expect anything from God, because you have to be firm in what you believe. You can't be flip-flopping all over the place and expect that things are going to happen for you. This is such an excellent conversation we are having here with Mr. Roberts, the power of the mind. It seems as if we're going to have a part 2 at some other point in time, because this
I'm
is
ready anytime.
level.
Ready. I love doing this. I can do this for, this is what I teach. I have students. We do this every time. So, I used to tell my student, I said, what I'm teaching you, I'm learning to, because the mind learns through repetition. Whatever you keep repeating, you will believe it. And once you believe it, things will start happening for you. So it's good we repeat all this thought, all this positive thought to ourselves. I post that every day on my page. I make sure I post something positive, So it's like, it's like my second hand. It's like my right hand. So when I'm even sleeping, I talk to my subconscious mind. It works wonders, because this is what I do every day. This is how I live. You can never hear negative thing. I will never say that to myself, because I know I'm cursing myself. I'm casting spells. Word cast spells. So people don't know that. So people who said something doesn't work, that's a belief. It will not work until you change your mouth. When you turn your mouth around, you will turn your condition around. So all this thing works. Man is mind, and thought is the only faculty of the mind. So our thought works, but the problem is, you said something. You said a man can receive nothing unless it's from God. Where is God? God is within us. God is not a big man in the sky. God is within every man. So when you say you cannot do something, according to your faith, according to your belief, it is done unto you. So all these things is what people get wrong. Even the people do, all these new thoughts. They will speak affirmation, then later they will speak negative things. Even I see some of my friends, on Facebook, when they speak, I will be like, wow, I don't expect that from you. Like, I'm not the one to correct you, because, everybody have the way they believe them. So I would be surprised to hear from somebody who know the mind and, write something like, oh, I'm sick, pray for me. Like, I would be like, you don't supposed to say you are sick. I mean, we all need prayers, don't get me wrong, but I will word it, differently. If anything happened to me, if I have a headache, if I tell my kids, or my friends, I'll say, I am strong now. They understand. or if I want to buy something, maybe if I don't have enough money, I will say, oh, I am rich. So they know exactly what I'm saying. So you have to code your words in a way that is always positive, and that's how wonders happen.
But Mr. Iman, when I say we have to go deeper into this conversation, because somebody would be listening and say, but that's not the truth. If you're sick, you're sick. But the scripture says, let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am
I'm
rich.
rich.
So if we are going to believe in the Bible, we have to believe in every verse, every precept, every line upon
Mhm.
line, precepts upon precept, verse upon verse. We have to believe everything that it says. Sometimes we are very, let me say, scriptural in that we pick out different scriptures and we believe those. And then other scriptures, we don't believe them. We hold on to only pieces and we don't believe the others. But we have to, as people who believe in God, and if we believe in the Bible, we have to believe in all the scripture. I'm moving along because I know we're almost out of time with this segment, but I know we will have to at some other time come back because we haven't even gone into talking about your book and about the money is looking for you, because that topic is so very catchy. Money is looking
Mhm.
for me. Well, I would say money find me. So I, many persons want, why is money not finding me? And I'm sure you're going to go back again to the thoughts and the mind,
Exactly.
and money is energy, and if you, depending on the energy that you give off, that's what come back to you.
Yeah.
So
Money is the energy of the mind. Money is the energy of the mind. So that's correct. Yeah.
yes. And you ever hear some people say, I don't like your energy. The energy that you give off is not
Exactly.
good. So sometimes the energy that you give off. I was sharing, Mr. Iman, I have to tell you this. I was sharing with somebody the other day, and I was saying to the person, how many days of the week do we get up and talk about money?
Hmm.
We leave money out of our daily activities. We go doing everything and we
Yep.
do. So how is something going to want to come into our home if we never talk about them, if we never entertain them? They stay far away. And I said, we have to do better. We have to entertain money and prosperity into our homes if we want it.
That's a very good one. Yeah. You're right.
Yes. So
Yeah.
let's get on the way with this rest of this conversation tonight. So I'm coming down to my two last questions for you.
Okay.
And this one says, we are aware, and this is where we talked about the people who study the metaphysics
Mhm.
and religion. And sometimes there are many back and forth and counter to each other when it comes to the mind and what the thoughts are. How do you reconcile, like, the people who talk about religion and the people who talk about physics? How do you bring those two together?
First, what is metaphysics? Metaphysics is seeing beyond, we are seeing beyond like physical things. So meta is physics means like, when you see beyond, the physical condition, when you see beyond your condition, that's what metaphysics means. And religion is a set of rules imposed on people, without no credentials, without no, so that's the definition of religion in my own term, So religion is of the heart and also the lips. A lot of people, they talk religion, but they are not really practicing what religion is. Like I said, don't get me wrong, anybody watching this, my grandfather was a pastor, and I grown up in the church. As a matter of fact, when I was 6, 7, I've been reading the Bible from Genesis to to the last page of the Bible. So I've been reading, and I knew the Bible, the church version. So there's always, everybody have the right to believe whatever they believe. But my own belief is that there's always a conflict because religion taught Bible, but they don't go to the meanings, like the esoteric meanings. What does esoteric meanings means? The inner meaning of the Bible. They know the Bible on the surface, And most of them doesn't even practice the principle. Like the principle we just said now, let the weak say I am strong, let the poor. Most people don't practice that. And Bible is written in metaphors, it's metaphors, it's parable. Even Jesus Christ said, it says, speak to them in parables. So most of the things are parables, they are like allegories. So they are personifications of places, names, and all those stuff. So religion people took the Bible literally, like a literature book to be read and understand. No, you cannot understand the Bible literally, no matter how you try. There's hidden meanings, and that one will be revealed to you. There's books on Bible, there's books on interpretation, but most people don't want to read that. They will say no, they don't believe it. So metaphysics is seen beyond your condition, like beyond physical realities, transcending your senses, your reasoning mind and condition. You will transcend that condition. Like the principle in the Bible say, let the poor say I am rich. That's a principle. You can imagine somebody who's homeless is saying I am rich. If you see him, you say, are you crazy? You don't even have nothing. But it's applying a principle. So that's what the Bible is teaching. But religion is like set of rules. Oh, this is what you should believe. You don't believe nothing else. This is how it is. You don't change it. So it's a process of teaching people and group of people to accept some type of belief unchecked. I remember when I was, when we used to go to church, there's a lot of things. Oh, if you wear this, if you wear that, you'll go to hell, you will burn, God will throw you in the fire. There's no God that throw people in the fire. Heaven and hell is a state of consciousness. It's not a place you go when you die. That's why some people are burning right now. Some people are in hell right here. So God created this earth. It's a beautiful world that we are living. It depends on how you see it. Oh, Mr. Robert, there's some evil, there's that. That will always happen. But it will not happen to us that we believe in God. It say 100 by your side, 1,000 by your left side, but it will not come to you. So the point is that, I transcend religion. I don't have nothing against religion. I used to go to church, but, I know the type of church, where I can learn something. So the conflict is always, I'm right, I'm wrong, but most metaphysics students, they don't believe. Metaphysics is more of a science. Like Einstein says something, Albert Einstein says, religion without science is nothing. It's ignorance. And science without religion is ignorance. So both go hand in hand. Even the top scientists now, they need. The Bible is the mind science. It's one of the most profound book written. It's a mind science book. It's a psychological book, and everybody is using it either they know it or not. So it depends on how you translate it. So the conflict is always with the translation. So religion, we say this is what it said. You don't have to go for that. This is it. God will throw you in hell. God will, what kind of God will be a loving? The best definition of God is love. God is love. So if I believe that God is love, I have a loving Father, why will he throw me in the fire? I don't get it. But when I was little, I used to believe that. That when I die, somebody will throw me in fire, or I'll be eating chicken every day. Like if I'm good, I'm righteous. That's what religion taught us. But metaphysics taught us that we can change our condition by renewing our mind, by speaking good words, by all those, and by thinking good thought, by like what you said, whatever is lovely, whatever is just, think about all these things. So that's what the difference. But there's no conflict. Everybody have their own belief, and I believe I cannot change you until you get to that spiritual. Metaphysics deal most with spirituality. Like me having relationship with God direct. There's no third party. There's no going to a clergyman to pray for me. I can do it because the same mind the clergyman have, the same mind I have. The same Christ mind. We all have it. Everybody is a self-fulfilling prophet. Everybody is a prophet. There's a prophet inside you, which is God Almighty. So you looking for somebody to be intermediary between you and God, you are meddling. So that's why paid prayers don't work. It's either you go to God direct or you are meddling. You can't have no third party. Oh, this one. I mean, we pray for each other. Don't get me wrong. That's fine. You can, oh, my friend, can you pray for me? It's fine. We do that. My mom pray for me. My kids pray for me. I pray for my friends. We do that every day. It's not a bad thing. We help each other. We lift each other up with prayers. But the point is that most people depend on, having an intermediary between them and God. So, but we, science, mind, metaphysics, whatever you call it, we believe we have God within us. So I don't have to contact somebody to help me talk to God, because God is not a man in the sky. So that was the most kept secret in the world, that God is within man. If you know God is within you, you have infinite power, because God is infinite. There's nothing he cannot do. So,
Wow.
but the religion taught us, I have to go to the pastor, you have to lay hands on me, you have to talk this, you have to do that, But like I said, there's no conflict. Everybody have the right to believe whatever they believe, and I believe, your knowledge, according to your knowledge, then it makes you free, So you can be ignorant, you can, you don't want to, you have clenched minded. This is what I know. I don't want to know anything. This is what my father taught me. This is what my clergyman say. I don't want to hear it, So everybody have different way of thinking, but I think there's no conflict, because God is love. God loves us. Either you are a sinner, like the religion taught people they are sinners, they will throw them in the fire. If you believe that, you will be catching hell here on earth. But if you believe you are serving, because we serve one God. There's only one God. There's only one power. There's only one presence. But everybody have different concept of God. That's what differentiates us. My conscience of God, my conception of God, what I believe God is God is love. I never thought God is evil, that will throw me inside fire. I don't believe that. I used to believe that back then when I was little. But now I know that God, the God I serve, is love. So you do everything with love. So I'm not waiting to die before I see God. I'm seeing God right here, right now. It's everywhere. God is in everything. It's in the animals. It's in everybody you see at the progeny of God. We are all children of the Most High. We are all related one way or another. It doesn't matter whether you are black, you are white. We are all children of the Most High. But you can walk around and say, okay, God is in the heaven. When I die, I'll see him. Or you can believe that God is within you. So God is within me. I know where he is. I don't have to search for him in the mountains, in the sea. I close my eyes. Even if I open my eyes, I talk to him. I walk. And I can talk at my walk. I can talk when I'm driving my car. I can always relate to God. So that's the difference between religion and people. Religion believe I have to go to a mountain to talk to God. Metaphysics believe that God is within me. I can always contact him with my thoughts or with my words and with my belief, with my feelings. So that's the difference.
Wow. You went into some deep waters right there, Mr. 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 Roberts, but we are going to move on because we just have a few more minutes left, almost out of time. And so the final question I'm going to ask you tonight as we wrap up this fireside chat, we just leave about 3 or 4 points with the audience about the power of the mind. What are 3 or 4 things you want them to leave with out of this session tonight? I know we have discussed a lot. We have been in here for the last hour and we have discussed a lot. We went into shallow water and we went into deep water. But what are 4 things you want to leave with the audience tonight?
I will leave some few words about the mind power. Like I said, manpower is God power. Mind power leads you to the green power, which is money. So if it's what you want, mind power leads you to health. Mind power is success. Mind power is prosperity. Mind power is the way to green power, money again. So we can use our God-given power to do, to be, and to have all the goods that we desire. So I will leave people with this, that you can always change your life condition by renewing your mind. The more you learn to walk your mind, the less you walk your behind. It's kind of funny, but it's true. I'll say it again. The more you learn to walk your mind, the less you walk your behind, the less you walk. That's why you never see me use the word, I'm working hard. No, I never. Because that's an affirmation. I work smart. If you say you're working hard, well, show me a rich donkey. You can never show me one. So people, you have to work smart and not hard. And that's that's your word. That's the power of your word. So mind power is God's power. Mind power is success power. Mind power is whatever you want: prosperity, green power, money. So you should use our mind. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So the kingdom of God we should seek is in our mind. When you know your mind, then you can never be a slave to anybody. When you know the power of your mind, no matter what people taught you, you will reason for yourself, think for yourself, and change your own life condition. I'm sure everybody should. You inspired me. I'm going to write about mind power. I have to, because a lot of people will be interested, because, I never thought about it. But when I saw your topic, I was like, oh, this is a great one. So because, I'm always generating ideas in my mind. So I put it down and say, I'm going to write about the mind power, because, it's a very vast topic that need to be addressed. So without your mind, will I do nothing? So God said it. I'm not the one that said it. It's written in your Bible, not only rich man's Bible, not only successful people's Bible. It's written in everybody's Bible. So you can go check it out and start using your mind positively, wisely, every day, to be, to do, and to have all the good that you desire. And, you will thank the God in you, So that's what I'm going to leave with people. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just had the last hour of the fireside chat, really sharing with us here this evening, Mr. Iman Roberts, joining us from all the way in Germany, many, many hours apart from us. But he has taken the time out to come and sit with us around the fireside to talk about the power of the mind, gems after gems after gems. As I said before, shallow waters and some deep waters were entered in here tonight. But knowledge is not power without you using that knowledge, without you making sure that that knowledge works for you. And that is the depth of everything. I want to leave us this evening with the words that says, let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich. The
Great.
wise man walketh with the wise, and fools walk with fools, and continue to stay as fools. Take what you want away from this session tonight, and what you don't want, you leave it. But there is something in here for every person who listens to this audio, to this video session of the Fireside Chat. We thank you so much for joining us. And we want Mr. Roberts to tell us, where can he be contacted? He has some classes that he teaches, and he has a book, as we said before, that is called Money is Looking for You. I know his book is available on Amazon, and you can go right over to Amazon and purchase his book so that you can find out where that money is that is looking for you, so that you can set yourself in the right place, that when that money comes, he finds you. Where can you be found other than that, Mr. Roberts?
Anyway, you can find me everywhere. Like you said, you can find my book on Amazon. And don't forget to tell people my book went I am a 2 times Amazon bestseller. When my book first came out, it went 2 times bestseller on Amazon. That's a fact. So you can find my book on Amazon. You can find my book. I have a website. So my website is wordstherapy.com. Words. That's WORDS. With therapy, that's THEPARIES. Wordstherapy.com. So you can find me there. That's my website. Then you can find me on Facebook. I do most in social media. I do most Facebook. I mean, I'm on what's the name again? I don't do Twitter, but I do Facebook more. So you can find me on Psychology of Money. That's one of my page. We talk about money every day. I have a lot of followers on that page. We talk only about money, like money stuff, money consciousness. Then you can find me on Iman Roberts, my normal Facebook account, where we post every day positive stuff too. So, I'm not so hard to find. So I'm everywhere. So when you tap my name on Amazon, you're going to see my book. I'm 2 times bestseller. The book sold a lot and people are still buying it. So I'm everywhere. So I'm so easy to find. You can find me on Facebook every day. Psychology of Money. No doubt. If people that desire more money, so you can get, knowledge about money. And I take classes too. I do like private classes. I have like 3 or 4 students now. So, we pick a date. Some do 2 times a week, some do once in a week. So I teach them about money, mostly about money. But me, I don't limit, my knowledge to money alone, even though that's my expertise, because I read a lot about money. I know what money is, and you can find me and you can ask questions about money. That's not a problem. I can do that without nothing. So I teach people about health. Health is very important. I'm writing a book on health too. I think teach people about how, just general successful life, how to have peace of mind, how to have good health, how to have a lot of money. So I take classes on that and a lot of improvement. People that come to my classes, they telling me they see a lot of change in their bank accounts, in their health, you know, just general total well-being. Prosperity has been, you have everything. You have good health, you have money, you are happy. Good health, happiness, love, joy, success, prosperity, money, freedom, peace of mind. So we teach those in our class, and so you can find me everywhere. So on Facebook, on Instagram, I'm on Instagram too, but I'm heavy on Facebook. So Amazon, and you can always contact me, and you can contact me through her. She's a good friend of mine on Facebook. We related like a year ago, and I've been following her stuff. I've been reading her stuff. I've been watching her stuff. And don't forget to follow her on YouTube. So I'm going to make sure I post a material on my page because I have a lot of followers, a lot. So God bless you. I really appreciate you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Appreciate that. And we are off tonight on this session. Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts, for taking your
God bless
time,
you.
six
I'm
hours
really grateful.
apart, to really talk with us. But this was well worth it. And
Thank you.
we will be sharing more on this topic in a few weeks to come. We'll probably have to do a part 2. But yes, yes, yes. Thank you
I'm
once
ready.
again for joining us for the fireside chat. This is where we
We
build
should talk
people.
about money because a lot of people don't have money. So I can tell. So next topic, if you want, we talk about money, about my book, and about any topic you throw at me, I'm ready.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful. This is where we build people and change lives, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much again for joining us. God
all
bless you.
right.
Have a
Thank,
one night.
thank you. Appreciate it.